Hello, welcome back to my channel. So this is the first kit I ever did. I did it a couple of days ago. It doesn't need any glue, it's very easy. It's a Pico subway stairwell basically. It's to go in the platforms when I get them. But today I'll be attempting my first proper kit involving, well, gluing really. But not only that, I'm really trying to modify it, which may be a bit silly considering I've never done a kit, but I know what I'd like to do with it, and so I think I may as well try because it wasn't too expensive at all. This is the kit I'm going to be modifying, hopefully anyway, and I'm just going to take you through the first few steps after opening it. You may see that some of these pieces have parts where the mould has like sort of overflowed, and that's obviously not meant to be there, so you can pick them off quite easily. Any that don't pick it off, because they're a bit thick, you can use a bit of sandpaper or grip tape from a skateboard and just rub them down. That's come off now. I mean, the plastic's a bit scuffed, but it only adds to the weathered lookingness. It doesn't make it look bad, especially if you look at it from a distance, you can't tell. And it works quite well. It saves you having to use, I mean, you could use a knife, but I don't have one handy. It's just another way of doing it. These bits are, they held all the bits of scaffolding together, all these bits. They just held them all together in the bag. But where they were attached, so I just twist them off. You could cut them, but if you have twisted them off, you'll see that there's like a rough patch here, and again, just a bit of sandpaper. And it's gone. Now this is designed to cover 3 tracks, but the spacing between the Hornby tracks is too big for this to cover it. And I can show you that because this here, that is the width of the gantry overall. If I put that across the track, it just about doesn't cover it. And with the platforms, with the feet having their own width, it won't fit. And also, even if it did, I want to put them on the corners where the trains swing out a bit, and so it would just collide with it. So this is why I'm going to have to modify it. So what I'm thinking is to have sort of the 2 pillars really close to one another and have it overhanging the track from one side. So I'm going to have to cut an indent out so that this can go through it. It's probably the best way to do it here is to cut these flaps off here. Obviously the main problem with doing this is that it's going to be quite heavy to the side, so I am going to need to find a way to hold it down. And this here is the arrangement I'm thinking to cover the 3 tracks, whereas the other one was just going to hopefully cover 2. So to do this I've ordered 2 more kits because I'm missing certain parts and you can't buy the parts individually, unfortunately. So I'm going to start off with a piece of gantry that is going to go on the new A layout across these 2 tracks and then onto a platform which will be about here. And I'll show you that on the track plan, but the pieces I'm going to need, I'm going to need this, but I'm going to have to cut it about here to go onto the platform, and I'm going to show you a bit more detail in just a second with a diagram. So this is the plan for the new layout. I'm going to be showing you where the gantry is supposed to go. This is where the one I'm going to be doing today will be. So one side needs to be slightly shorter than the other in order for it to fit on the platform, which I have circled in red. As you can see, it's going to cover the inner 2 lines from the platform, ready for the junction off to the sidings, where I'm going to have the fuel stop point and various other maintenance things. So this is where I plan to have the gantry covering the 3 lines, which I showed you earlier. And this is where the one covering the 2 lines will go, where I'll need a post, which I'm circling now in red, to hold it up and hopefully weight it down somehow. I'm going to be using 4 of these pieces, which come from 2 packs of the overall set. The rest are over here, and I need to wait for more packs to come to get more of these to cover the triple line. But this is only going to be covering 2 lines and most of a platform. I just used a pen knife to cut the bits of plastic I wanted, and the bits of plastic I cut out I actually used to support some other parts of it, which you'll see in a picture in a second. I used Revel plastic glue, which works really well. Doesn't take long to dry, enough for you to move on at all. But to completely set, it will take a bit longer, so I've left it on the layout to dry. So this was the idea I had. It might be a bit wonky at the moment, but that's because this platform isn't the one I'm going to be using. So when Grandad sends one over, I will adjust the height accordingly. But as you can see, it has no lights on it. They're here, these traffic lights. I still need to paint them, and I'm going to paint them before I put them on. I've got black paint that's arrived, but I'm waiting for the traffic light colours to arrive before I can do that, and then I'll stick them on. And when the rest of these arrive, because I've used 2 so far, I can finish constructing it with all of that, and then we can make the whole layout and add the track. So I still need to fit the ladder here, but I'll decide how to do that when I've set it all up on the station, because it could change. I could be changing the height slightly, and I don't want to have to take it off and put another one on. So yeah, that's all that's left to do, is add the ladder and the lights, well the pretend lights on the front, which will go where these 2 here are, these 2 cross bits. And yeah, I'll just show you something though. Just to give it a bit of extra support, I broke off a bit of the ladder because I knew the ladder wouldn't need to be as long, and I put it here, near where my middle finger is, right there, just to support it. I also, from the bit I cut off of here, I stuck a beam across here just to support it, and then just from the plastic framework holding the bits together, I just glued it on right where my top finger, let it focus, just on the end here underneath it, just to hold it on, give it a bit of extra support. That from the 28 to 30 piece I just stuck on, you can see it's still a bit wet, but yeah, I just stuck basically random bits of plastic all over the bottom of it, just to give it an extra bit of support. And it's worked quite well, because I mean, you don't see it, so I don't mind, because it would look rubbish if you could see it. But yeah, overall I think this has been a success. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next video. Bye.